Hello, Lauren here at Leask Tabernacle. Let me share two stories that happened within a couple of years in the early 1900s. On April the 15th, 1912, the Titanic plunged 12,000 feet to the Atlantic floor. As one survivor put it, I saw all the horror of it sinking. And even more dreadful, I heard the cries of drowning people. We all know the fact that there were not enough lifeboats, but even taking that into account, far more people died than needed to. When the 20 lifeboats were launched, almost all of them were only partially full. One lifeboat, number 14, did row back to the scene after the ship had slipped from sight. Alone, it chased cries in the darkness, seeking and saving only a few. Incredibly, no other boat joined it. The other 19 boats just hung back. They heard the cries of people in the water, some with life jackets, some clinging to bits of wreckage. Interestingly, many of the fatalities didn't drown. A large number of them died slowly of hypothermia. While 19 lifeboats sat there, hearing the cries and not saving anyone. Why? Because of fear. They feared that a crush of swimmers would cling to their craft and swamp the boats, causing them to go down. Note that no one drowned on boat 14, the boat that went back. The other story. On December 5th, 1914, Ernest Shackleton and a team set out on a challenge to cross Antarctica. Only a few years earlier, Roald Amundsen had just become the first person to reach the South Pole. The one remaining challenge was to cross the icy continent from one side to the other. So on that winter day, Shackleton set out for the Weddell Sea on the ship Endurance with a crew of 27 men. Just a few days out from South Georgia, the ship encountered mile after mile of pack ice and became stuck, as he described it, like an almond in a piece of toffee. The ship was stranded for 10 months until on November the 21st, 1915, the crew had to abandon her as she was crushed by the pressure of ice. So 3 lifeboats headed for tiny Elephant Island as they watched their crushed vessel sink like the Titanic to the bottom of the sea. There on the desolate island, Shackleton left with 5 of the men and set out on a hazardous 800-plus mile journey to find help, which eventually he did, and returned to rescue his crewmates. 2 stories about sinking ships. But the amazing thing about this second story is that through the whole ordeal, not one person died. There are no stories of people eating each other, no mutiny, no fighting about who gets into the life rafts, no abandoning of other people to die. On the Titanic, because of fear and confusion, people let other people down. Many people died. On the Endurance, survival, life. I realize the 2 situations have significant differences, but it still stands that because of Shackleton's crew acting as a team, everyone survived. No one was left behind. Help came back and rescued every last member of the expedition. Which boat does your world feel like? This was the 3rd Sunday of Advent, so at church we've considered hope, peace, and love. 3 things God offers us that will definitely keep us secure, even if our boat is rocked. Romans 15:13 says, I pray that God, the source of hope, will fill you completely with joy and peace because you trust in Him. Then you will overflow with confident hope through the power of the Holy Spirit. And 2 Thessalonians 3:16, now may the Lord of peace Himself give you His peace at all times and in every situation. The Lord be with you all. And Philippians 1, verses 9 to 11, I pray that your love will overflow more and more, and that you will keep on growing in knowledge and understanding. For I want you to understand what really matters, so that you may live pure and blameless lives until the day of Christ's return. May you always be filled with the fruit of your salvation, the righteous character produced in your life by Jesus Christ. For this will bring much glory and praise to God. This week, today, may you experience and demonstrate hope, peace, and love that comes from God. It's so good to share with you again. Take care.